the ball for Blackstenius. She's raced into the area. She's clear on goal. It's 2! And are England going to be knocked off their Euros perch tonight?
After the tune-in, we finally started playing a bit better.
Mead is there, and Jibang! 2-2! Holmberg, it's over! England are in the semi-finals! They expected, somehow, from somewhere, the Lionesses have delivered.
We play to win. It's another exciting tournament so far, and I hope tomorrow is going to be another exciting game. And I have one hope, is that we win it.
That is headed by Durrani, and it's in. Italy have done it. They are heading to the first semi-final since 1997.
I feel like they're going to be a little bit feisty, and maybe we have to match that.
I hope we will be more on the ball, but we have to be tight on the ball and challenge them.
This motto, in Sarina we trust. We have to trust her again in the semi-final that she makes the right calls.
Yeah, 7 o'clock, the build-up starts, 8 o'clock kick-off for the Lionesses against Italy. And the England fans are descending on Geneva. Yeah, let's cross there now. I'll tell you what, before we do, should we hear from Sarina?
Yes, please.
Let's do that before we speak to Adrian. Yeah, she spoke to the media ahead of the semi-final against Italy tonight, live on talkSPORT. She was asked if the team had been practising penalties after edging past Sweden in a shootout in the quarter-finals.
We practice hours and hours. No, we didn't. Now, of course, over the last months, you know that when you go into a tournament and you come in a knockout stage, that you can go to penalties. So it's something that players train penalties all the time, also at club. You just want to be prepared as possible, but also have that process from going into a penalty shootout, what you can expect. Hopefully it's not necessary, but we've practiced it now.
Unless I was Alessia Russo, Lucy Bronze or Chloe Kelly, I would have practiced penalties.
I think I would have. Hit it.
Let's see what
hit it.
Let's see what Adrian Durham thinks. Hi, Aid.
Hey.
Hi guys, I'm still recovering from the pH test.
It's brilliant, wasn't it?
Those stories.
Some text. Some text. Geez, I've got better stories that happen every day. Gallin Hemmel. Never do that section again, says Simon. I miss ChatGPT. And Les in Spurs say, gave me a good laugh listening to people totally embarrassing themselves on live radio. I think the problem lies in the fact that people are giving you someone else's best story, not their own one.
Indeed.
There we are. Thank you, Les, the Spurs fan.
I think and what I will say is, Paul, you're an absolute talkSPORT legend. Charlie, you're very funny, and it's good the things you do for your fellow pros, like keeping Max Rushton in work on a Saturday. I think it's a really generous thing to do, but you need better stories for that section.
Yes, you do need better
If you want me to come on for the pH test, I can tell the stories from the Copacabana. 11 years ago was it, Paul, when Stan Collymore tried to persuade Andy Jacobs to go on a night out with him on the Copacabana? That didn't go too well.
In Lapa.
Or we could do the cleaning up the bathroom story, and we could
Maybe it's
go
the
there if you
talkSPORT
want.
presenter
Those
pH
really would
test.
pass the test.
You're saving those for the book.
Those would be the best stories, I promise you.
Possibly use the line that Stan said to entice Andy out. But anyway, where were we? Penalties. I mean, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, let's hope it doesn't come to that. But there were some shockers in there, really, from players of the experience of the players that missed, I felt.
You know what? It wasn't the greatest penalty shootout. I think it's fair to say. And at the end of the show, I described it as one of the worst penalty shootouts ever. And I think I could justify that. I watched it back the next day, believe it or not. And actually, it was a mix of things. There were some truly terrible penalties. There were some brilliant penalties, the three you just named. There was one Sweden penalty into the top bins, which was absolutely fantastic. There was also some very good goalkeeping. And, of course, historically, the narrative is women's goalkeeping is terrible. Well, they're going to have to throw that in the bin now, because I thought both keepers made some good saves. Falk made 4 saves, still lost the shootout. Hannah Hampton's fingertip save in the penultimate Swedish penalty was superb. So I think it's fair to say it was a terrible penalty shootout, but I think some context is needed. There were some good pens, there were some brilliant saves as well, but I'm really hoping it doesn't go to pens tonight.
Are you changing anything, Adrian, in terms of personnel, starting personnel, and possible team shape? There's been a bit of talk about 3 at the back.
Well, when you said, are you changing anything, I thought I'm changing my top. It's a bit sweaty, that last one, after the Sweden game. But, no, in terms of personnel, I don't think Sarina will change anything. Chloe Kelly probably should come in. I think she's done enough to earn that spot. I'm not necessarily sure that the squad are kind of conditioned brain-wise to think it's earning a spot. It's basically saying, yes, I can have an impact if you need me off the bench, and I think the players are quite comfortable with that because they're all together as a squad. So nobody's sitting on the bench fuming, if you understand what I'm saying. They all know that they could be the heroes on the night. I think defensively there's a question over whether they go 3 at the back or stay 4 at the back. I think Sarina's so conservative she will stay 4 at the back. But there is another question about Jess Carter's form. Obviously, what's happened to Jess Carter off the pitch is horrific. If Sarina can box that off and say, well, actually, what do we need? What's best for England in terms of winning the game, trying to keep a clean sheet? Esme Morgan came on against Sweden, and I think she played way better than any of us thought. And we all spoke to her on the Sunday, I think it was, and she spoke very well, and she was really impressive in the game. She's clearly very confident. If she was in the starting lineup, I personally wouldn't have a problem with that.
I think one of England's strengths is their bench, is that they do have these impact players who do make a difference. Michelle Aguiman, for instance, she was fantastic when she came on, and she offers something completely different to all the other England players.
Yeah, but I think at the age she is, she's 19, I think that this is exactly what she has to be, an impact sub, because if you play her from the start, defenders have time to get used to her.
Yeah.
If you bring her on after, say, and I think Sarina should make subs earlier, if you bring her on after 60, 65, the defenders have settled into how their game has gone. And, yeah, they're aware that somebody's coming on, but they're not necessarily aware, one, of her pace, which is fantastic. Her ability to just know when to go and where to go is impressive as well, and she's got some strength to go with it. And the finishing skill is fantastic.
Yeah.
So I think at this moment in time, she's best for England in this tournament as an impact sub, as Alessia Russo was 3 years ago when we won the Euros.
We saw Italy against Norway, and they like to get it wide, and they like to play it long quite often. And those balls in behind into those wide areas and the channels is where we looked a little bit suspect at times behind our fullbacks, Adrian. So you're going to have to watch that tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, this is what I'm talking about, Esme Morgan. She's got some pace. Height is impressive as well, and they're good in the air, Italy. So she's got those skills, a special set of skills that she could use against Italy to keep them at bay. Girelli is 35 years old, but she's having an incredible tournament, truly incredible. And her 2 goals against Norway, the header for the winner late on was a very special goal indeed. So she has to be watched. We have to do our homework. We were poor, we were sloppy. It was almost like we hadn't really clocked what Sweden were going to try and do against us. So I hope that homework has been stepped up on the opposition. And from the very offset, from the first whistle, I hope everybody's totally on it and not playing casual, sloppy passes to opposition players, because Italy have the ability to catch us out. Yeah. To go through what we've gone through, to lose to France, then absolutely hammer the Netherlands and Wales and come back, then be out 3 or 4 times against Sweden but still get through that one, I think then to go out against Italy in the semi-finals will be a real massive disappointment. They've worked this hard to get this far. Let's make it count and get to the final.
I think we're going. Absolutely. I've said we're going to hammer them 3 or 4.
You're very confident.
Very confident indeed.
Well, let's hope you're right, Adrian. We look forward to hearing from you.
On what basis can you be confident? Honestly,
vibes, eh? Vibes.
I mean, I was so nervous about it this morning. I climbed a mountain this morning just to ease the nerves, and it hasn't worked.
Well, have a good one. We'll hear from you later. All the best. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.
Adrian Durham there. And he is your host from 7 o'clock.
Mike's been in touch. Can we get one of the callers back in touch to clarify what happened to the eggs?
Yeah, I didn't know the eggs featured in that story.
Yeah, I didn't know if that was part of the story. Anyway.
So the coverage starts at 7 o'clock, kick-off at 8. You can react in the sports bar straight after the game, Lionesses versus Italy, tonight on talkSPORT in the semi-finals of Euro 2025.